There are many countries around the world with unique and sometimes strange traditions, but there's one place where each spring, a controversial and peculiar event takes place. A dark market where dozens of young women parade before hundreds of potential suitors. Get ready to uncover the mysteries and wonders of a nation often considered the most affordable in Europe. Welcome to Bulgaria, an overlooked yet fascinating and complex country in the heart of the Balkans. Bulgaria is home to surprising customs, such as a springtime tradition held in the city of Stara Zagora. There, a controversial event occurs where young Romani women are presented before suitors who make offers to win their hand in marriage. This country, older than ancient Rome, holds within its borders vampire graves discovered near a so-called cursed village, and it boasts a wealth of curiosities, from producing the best yogurt in the world to being the site of the oldest known treasure in history. With a past shrouded in myth and legend, Bulgaria isn't just intriguing because of its traditions. It's also the birthplace of Baba Vanga, the blind mystic regarded by many as one of the most accurate prophets in history, even more so than Nostradamus. Located in southeastern Europe, Bulgaria offers an incredibly rich history and diverse culture that often go unnoticed. Though less known than some of its neighboring countries, it has much to offer to curious travelers. Known for its breathtaking mountain scenery, Bulgaria features a varied landscape, from dramatic mountain ranges and lush valleys to sandy beaches along the Black Sea coast. It's also home to the tallest peak in the Balkans, Mount Musala, which reaches an altitude of 2,925 meters and draws nature lovers and hikers from around the globe. Bulgaria's climate shifts depending on the region and season, with warm summers and cold winters. The Rila and Pirin mountains become popular spots for skiing and snowboarding during winter, while the coast transforms into a sun-drenched retreat in the warmer months. The country's name traces back to the ancient Bulgar tribe, which settled in the region long ago. Throughout its history, Bulgaria has been shaped by many civilizations, creating a rich cultural mosaic reflected in its architecture, cuisine, and traditions. What many people don't know is that Bulgaria is one of the oldest existing states in Europe, having been established long before the founding of Rome. Archaeological evidence shows that Thracian civilizations were present in the area as far back as the Bronze Age. This deep-rooted history makes Bulgaria a true historical gem, and it's not just ancient settlements that tell this story. The region has also produced wine for over 6,000 years. The Thracians, ancestors of modern Bulgarians, were among the earliest known winemakers, and they incorporated wine into religious rituals. Today, Bulgaria remains a respected wine-producing nation, carrying on a millennia-old legacy. This blend of ancient roots and vibrant living culture makes Bulgaria an essential destination for history buffs and lovers of the extraordinary. It's a small country hiding countless captivating tales, including some that seem straight out of horror stories. Among the most curious and controversial discoveries are the so-called vampire graves. Found in various parts of the country, archaeologists have unearthed human remains buried with iron stakes driven through their hearts, a practice meant to keep the dead from returning as vampires. Though rooted in the Middle Ages, some of these graves are more recent, fueling speculation that the myths may hold a grain of truth. Bulgaria, along with Romania's Transylvania, is considered one of the central hubs of European vampire folklore. In rural regions, ancient rituals still persist to protect families from these nocturnal creatures. There are even historical records of court trials against individuals accused of vampirism, the most unsettling part. Some archaeologists believe that the locals performed these rituals not out of superstition, but because they genuinely feared something sinister. From mystical tombs to haunted places, Bulgaria is a magnet for those fascinated by the unknown. One of the eeriest locations is the ghost village of Kavashevo, nestled in the Rhodope Mountains near where vampire graves were found. This village, known for its centuries-old stone houses, is shrouded in an atmosphere of haunting stillness. Though now a tourist attraction, many claim it's haunted. Locals tell tales of figures appearing in windows, strange lights moving through the forest at night, and a family that vanished without a trace, leaving their meal on the table and the doors wide open. Others report hearing whispers in unfamiliar languages as they walk the cobblestone streets at dusk, or claim to be followed by shadowy figures until they leave the village. Whether these stories are true or not, they continue to add to Bulgaria's reputation as a land rich in mystery and the supernatural. Before we take a closer look at the infamous bride market, it's important to understand who the Romani people are. Often referred to as gypsies, the Romani are a traditionally nomadic ethnic group believed to have originated from the Rajasthan region of northern India. They migrated to Eastern Europe centuries ago and can now be found across the continent. Despite their wide presence, the Romani often remain socially isolated from the mainstream populations of the countries in which they live. Their customs and values are frequently misunderstood or stereotyped, and one of the most controversial of these customs is the so-called bride market, which continues to be practiced in some areas. Perhaps the most famous Romani woman of all time, and certainly the most well-known in Bulgaria, is Baba Vanga. She is considered by many to be the greatest modern-day prophet, even surpassing Nostradamus. Though she lived much of her life in a modest rural village, her name has crossed borders and inspired both awe and skepticism around the world. Baba Vanga was born in Strumica, a town that was once under the Ottoman Empire and is now part of North Macedonia. At the time, however, the area was closely tied to Bulgaria, and her family was of Bulgarian descent, which cements her cultural identity as Bulgarian. Her life took a dramatic turn when, as a young girl, she was caught in a dust storm that left her severely injured and blind. From then on, she began to experience visions, glimpses into the future that many believe were eerily accurate. She was familiar with traditional Romani mystical practices, such as divination using natural elements. Over the years, her fame spread, and people came from far and wide seeking her guidance. Her prophecies soon extended beyond personal advice and began to touch on global events, like the death of Joseph Stalin, the sinking of the Russian submarine Kursk, and even the attacks of September 11th. Some believe she predicted a global pandemic as well. Before we return to the bride market, here are a few more intriguing facts about Bulgarian customs. One of the most notable is the tradition of women taking their husband's last name upon marriage. For example, if a woman named Maria Ivanova marries a man named Mikhail Petrov, she might become Maria Petrova. This is not mandatory, but it's a remnant of older cultural norms. One quirky cultural detail that often surprises visitors is how Bulgarians nod and shake their heads in reverse. In Bulgaria, nodding means no, and shaking the head means yes. Try it yourself. Say, "Yes, I love it," while shaking your head, or say, "No, I disagree," while nodding. It's surprisingly confusing. This country's deep history might explain why it feels like time has stood still. Founded in the year 681, after Christ with the establishment of the First Bulgarian Empire, Bulgaria is the only country in the European Union that has never changed its name since its foundation. Among the most extraordinary finds in Bulgaria is the Varna treasure, the oldest known hoard of gold in the world, discovered in a Copper Age necropolis. This treasure is over 7,000 years old, making it older than the Egyptian pyramids. And speaking of ancient traditions, Bulgaria is also credited with creating yogurt. Though not as ancient as the Varna treasure, Bulgarian yogurt has been produced for thousands of years. It is celebrated worldwide for its unique flavor and health benefits, often winning awards for being the best yogurt globally. Today, Bulgaria is a part of the European Union, but remnants of its past under Soviet influence are still visible in its capital, Sofia. With its Soviet-era trains, buildings, and streets, it can feel like a miniature version of Moscow frozen in time. Just a couple of hours away from Sofia is the city of Stara Zagora, where each spring, Romani families gather for what is often referred to as a bride market. Here, young women are presented to potential grooms, who make offers for marriage. It is said that the price is determined by the girl's family, and based on reports found online, these offers can range from 10,000 to 50,000 in value. This gathering is the most significant annual event for certain Romani clans in the area, drawing attention not only for its cultural significance, but also for the ongoing debates it sparks about tradition, rights, and the changing landscape of modern Europe.